mats in Beijing, and they've come to the United States for the Schultz tournament a couple of times prior to the Olympics, and have really developed a good program. China was third in the Olympic Games in Greco-Roman. Last year they didn't have that good of a tournament at the Greco-Roman Worlds, but Spenser, our Olympian and world team member, is going to have a tough match right off the bat here.
Well, a little bit about Xujin Li. He was second in the 2009 World Cup, fifth in the Asian Championships. Coming in at age 27, he was fourth in the Schultz 3 years ago. So he's actually fairly battle-tested when it comes to international competition. Mango, our Olympian in 2008, has been basically teetering between 121 and 132, or 55 and 60 kilos. So now Spenser will have a chance in top and parterre. As per the rules, we wrestle 90 seconds on our feet, and the wrestler with the most points will lock in the top position to start each period. If we are scoreless, the red wrestler will have choice, well, not choice, will basically be forced to score in the top position. And we see that with 23 seconds to go. First period here, Spenser Mango with a 3-1 lead over Xujin Li of China. This is bout number one, match number one, round number one here at the Kit Carson Cup.
We're going to have a great day at Greco. We're going to see 8 different matches. We're concentrating on one match at a time. We'll give you updates as we see from the far mat, which in this case, mat 2 right now is Japan against USA 1, which is the U.S. Army team. So there'll be 2 matches going on. We're going to isolate on a dual meets, one dual meet each session, and then we'll give you updates on the other bouts.
Well, while we have a chance, for example, we'll just take you over there right now. We don't have, this is in between periods, so right now you've got the Minnesota Storm.
Paul Telgren, yeah.
Actually,
he's going against Kohei Hasegawa, who's a tremendous Japanese opponent. I actually picked him to win the Worlds last year, but he had a bad performance in comparison. He'd won about 6 tournaments during the year, and I consider him one of the best Greco wrestlers in the world at that weight class.
Well, we'll go back to action over here on the mat with Mango winning the first period 3-1 over Xujin Li of China. We'll go to the second period. Mango in the red. So we'll have 8 rounds of action here today at the U.S. Olympic Training Center here in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Jason did his math, and he's kind of worked it out so that we see each American team twice, and we get to see each international team twice. So if you're going to spend the whole day with us, you'll get to see every athlete that's competing go 2 times. This tournament is great, according to our coaches, because they get 4 tough international matches in one day. And none of the Americans are going to wrestle against any other Americans. It's just U.S. against foreign teams. So this is great international experience.
40 seconds gone by here in the second period. Mango tried a quick arm spin attempt. Kind of holding the head control position. Now pulls the arm on the 2-on-1. No score. 106. We're wrestling on 2 mats. And yes, you're right, Gary, I did do my math.
And by the way, on the Japanese format, they switched. It's not Hasegawa wrestling. They put their other wrestler in there, Minamura. So my bad on that. Each team has the opportunity to switch in and out of the lineups. So in most cases, we'll be able to follow who they have. But with some of the international athletes, we may not know as well.
Most of our athletes are very well on who they are. So 30 seconds, and we will go to parterre. And now Mango will be down and will have to defend, because in the second period, if there's no score, the wrestler in the blue singlet will be on top and has to score in that position. If you have scored an offensive point in the first 90 seconds and you're on top, you do not have to. You are not penalized for not scoring. This is a very a variation of the 1 minute 30-30. Now it's 30 seconds, and the wrestler who scores on their feet gets the opportunity to score in the top position. Should they score offensively. So
now the difference in a lot of international matches is actually defense, and athletes that have good bottom defense often are the ones that can come out in a close Greco-Roman match. As you see, Spenser is doing a really good job of blocking here, keeps his hips down, and all he has to do is defend.
Trying with the gut wrench is Liu. He gets him over, and he's going to have the exposure on the edge for 2. So Xujin Li of China going to take a 2-0 lead here in the second period.
That was some nice technique, you know.
It was, and the official did let him keep going. Sometimes if you see little success, they'll put them back up on their feet. 5 seconds to go, so this is going to go to a third period as Shujin Li of China will win the second period 2-0. And we'll go to the rubber period, the rubber match, so to speak, if you want to get creative with it, Gary. What do you think?
Well, it's going to be a good test here for Spenser. You know, he's made our last two teams. He was 8th in the Olympics and 9th at the World Championships. But he still hasn't got himself where he's won a medal in his weight class for the United States. He's going to have a tough go, you know, maintaining his number one spot. We have some pretty good 55-kilogram wrestlers in the United States. We did lose Sam Hazenwinkel, who switched over to freestyle this year.
Done pretty well, made the World Cup team.
Yeah, so, I mean, that just shows how good Sam was, that he could switch styles. But, you know, Spenser right now is our number one guy, and this is the kind of match he needs to win to get ready for the season.
Early going third period here at 55 kilos. Spenser Mango of the United States representing the New York Athletic Club. And, Gary, I must say, I do like how they've broken up the teams. It isn't just a conglomeration. You've got real camps here. Kind of as, you know, Zeke Jones has spoken on the freestyle side, how he wanted to regionalize things. Well, Greco's already got a camp system pretty much instituted with the Army, the Northern Michigan guys, the Sunkist kids, and then you've got the Minnesota guys, and pretty much everybody. And the AC's got a pretty good squad here too. So they've already got a kind of a camp system set up in terms of, you know, who wrestles with who. So
right, they tried to make these teams based on their club programs, and there's a few switches up because of openings in the lineups and the fact that they wanted to get some of our top national team guys some matches regardless of whether or not they're part of those clubs. Like right now, the Army has a guy from the Minnesota Storm wrestling for it because they didn't have a 55. And just a quick look to mat number 2. Paul Telgren won the first match for the Army squad. U.S. is leading Japan.
Well, they raised both arms there, Gary. Well,
that's interesting.
Minute gone by here in the third period. Mango with trying to control the inside. Now with the underhook hanging on the head. No score, third period. At 55 kilos, you see a lot of our staff here today. And now Lee trying to push Mango out on the edge. Now, if they go to they're tied in aggregate points in the third, they will go to the ball draw, and that's exactly what we're going to do because it was a 3-1 lead for Mango in the first, 2-0 for China. So it's 3-3. Here comes the ball draw. And
well, now with the ball draw, it's only one period, and it
blue.
You know, very rarely goes to that anymore.
Well, the caution, I'm wondering how that plays a role. Well, Mango has to score here from the top position.
Right. Caution is a determiner. If there are no cautions, then they do. But we had a caution here that made a difference.
Aha, see, there it
is. Going to put Mango down, see?
He's going to have the choice.
The caution was China. So Mango got the choice, and now all he has to do is defend. Problem is he didn't defend last period.
Nope, now he's trying to squirt out. Face down, trying to go with that high gut, trying to work on the inside. Now Lou with the gut to the high gut. Got the leg in, actually. It's not actually hooked in.
Right.
Now he's trying to drive Mango. Not going to go over.
Oh,
and he
nice.
Counters. Is he in?
That.
He's going to get the fall.
Yeah, he gets a fall on that. That was nice. It's not like the Chinese athlete had much choice. He had to go for a turn. And in this case, a pin or a loss by a point there doesn't really matter. He really had to try to get the turn. So Spenser took advantage, stepped over, and got the fall. U.S. leads 1-0.